Okay, hello again everybody. I want to post this video because I've been brainstorming about my ideas that I posted in the last video about tapping power out of the ionosphere and such. I realized that the positively charged beam that I was referring to in the last video would be just like the particle accelerators that they use to smash atoms together. Instead of smashing positively charged protons together at near the speed of light velocities, instead I would think to shoot them straight up, one at a time or whatever, to the ionosphere close to the speed of light. And as they go past the ionosphere, the positively charged beam would then start attracting the negatively charged electrons, the free negatively charged electrons that are floating around up there. And that would be a way of using positively charged protons from hydrogen and using a particle accelerator with negatively charged electrons of electricity to then accelerate them up to the speed of light and then boost them straight up towards the ionosphere, one at a time, at the velocity of light. So if you can imagine that we're making a circuit, a positive and negative circuit between the ground and the ionosphere. The ionosphere is negatively charged electrons. The ground is positively charged protons or positively charged electrons. And that's where lightning comes from. Lightning wants to get to the ground from the ionosphere. And in certain storms, when the resistance lowers just enough, the lightning or the electrons in the ionosphere can then drop in our atmosphere. And that's what causes lightning, I believe. So if you think about using a particle accelerator as a positively charged beam or positively charged part of your circuit for the ionosphere and for the ground, then you would need a negatively charged one for the electrons from the ionosphere to then discharge into the ground. And that's what the Tesla coil would be. The Tesla coil would be the negatively charged, energized secondary part of the circuit. So you got a particle accelerator shooting positively charged protons up into the ionosphere, attracting the negatively charged electrons. And then once you get them all gathered in a group up there, then you negatively charge the Tesla coil that is grounded. So then this becomes negatively charged, and it provides a way for the electrons from the ionosphere to discharge into the ground, because this is all going to be negatively charged and it's all going to be grounded. So instead of just theorizing that Tesla's death ray or positively charged beam weapon or whatever was the way he was going to attract electrons from the ionosphere, I think that a particle accelerator makes more sense. And we already have that kind of capability these days, so I say give it a try if anybody's got a particle accelerator, but I don't have a particle accelerator, so I cannot test it. But I did make another secondary coil for my wireless experiments. I got a grounded copper rod that's sticking in between them, and this one has a wire that's coming from the middle base of this one. So there's one wire going up to the toroid and there's another wire that's just going up to the tip of the shaft there for the top of the other coil, since I don't have two toroids. And I think what I want to do is I want to get another rotary gap, another rotary spark gap for the other side, and that way I'm causing one big spark for the middle area here. That way I can have an aerial for one and a grounded designated coil for a second one. But it's still a work in progress. I'm still experimenting, so we'll do a little demonstration here. pretty loud, but it's worth the noise when you're learning stuff. That's for sure. Okay, well that's what I'm going to say about that for now. But so I got another thing I wanted to share in this video, and that is a thing about radio communication. I'm not sure if how many people are familiar with ham radios and with VHF radios, and even this television gets VHF and UHF frequencies. So does this one, but the tube doesn't work. This is my VHF radio that I use for out in the ocean. It's able to communicate with ships and boats and stuff like that for their frequencies. And I also got this ham radio. This is my tri-band ham radio. It has a variable oscillator switch that I can change with this turn dial, and got a little microphone here that it came with. But my point is about this communication part of my video is that I had a I'm not sure how many people out there have cell phones or not, but the way cell phones work is whenever you make a call, the cell phone itself actually sends out radio waves to whatever satellite or whatever phone or tower it's communicating with. So a cell phone is just like a ham radio when you're using the repeater towers. The only difference is that you are dialing a number and you're using it just like a landline. You know, there's a ringtone and there's a ring, and you know, somebody answers at the phone number that you're trying to contact. But they cost my cell phone bill cost me $50 a month, plus the internet that my smartphone had, which was another $30 a month, plus text messaging, which was like another $10+ a month. So you know, I imagine that most people pay around $80 to $100 a month for cell phone or communication usage. And I recently stopped paying for my cell phone, and I thought about it long and hard, and I'm not going to get another one, because I'm going to try to see how many people I can convince to just buy ham radios. Because a ham radio can communicate with hundreds of thousands of frequencies, and it can also go long distances too with repeater stations, and it's free and you don't have to pay a monthly fee in order to use it. But there's a downside to it. You know, everybody's going to be like, well, I like my phone, I like all my apps and my games and my blah blah blah. Well, if you take away the phone service from your smartphone and just have the data and all the apps and stuff, all that stuff runs on internet and Wi-Fi. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to get an iPad or something, you know, something that has a Wi-Fi antenna that I can still have all my apps and all my stuff that I have on my iPhone that I usually use, kind of like a little handheld computer. But I don't want the phone service anymore, which is what the contract that AT&T charged me with, the 2-year contract, and you know, it's $100 a month. And if I had a service where I could just pay for the internet and that's it, and not have a phone service, I think that's what I'm going to go for, because I'm going to start using a ham radio to start communicating with people. Well, I'm going to try and convince as many people as I can to get ham radios. They're only like $30 or $40. I mean, this one that I have here is a tri-band radio, so it costs a little bit more because it's a transceiver and it can go on, you know, many different frequencies. But you know, just a VHF radio like this, and you know, it's only like $40, and And the way you can get farther distance is you just get a bigger and more broader range antenna. Like this is what I did right here. I took an old TV antenna. I took an old TV antenna and let's see, this antenna comes out in two different pieces, so I took the wire from the antenna and spliced it in with the antenna that I have for my ham radio here. Okay. Almost need another hand to do all this stuff. Okay, let's see here. I have this TV on right here for an interesting reason. I don't know how many people remember this old way of the television tube where you have the static and the white fuzz on the screen. Well, I have a hunch that what's on the screen right here, that's white light that's being picked up by the television tube back here. And that's also some pretty loud sound that it's picking up too. Let's see if I use my radio and it changes color and it goes slightly black. So the white fuzz that you see on a TV and the sound that it's picking up is some type of energy that it's picking up. And I'm not sure if it's possible or not, but I want to see if there's some way to, take the static and the white light that this tube is making and turn it into electrical power somehow, just by the signal that the tube is picking up that's making that sound and making that white light that's on the screen. Because if there wasn't any signal being picked up by the television tube, then it would be all black. And there wouldn't be any sound coming out. But there's a pretty loud sound that comes out of these tubes, and that's a lot of white light that it's picking up too. So I'm not too sure if that's a real deal or not, but I'm gonna think of some experiments to test it out. See if there's some way to take that signal that the tube is picking up and turn it into an electrical signal of some kind. Okay, so I got my ham radio connected to this old TV antenna, and I have it tuned to the frequency that my VHF radio can pick up. So this is my example of using two ham radios for free communication. Makes more sense to me to have a radio like this to communicate instead of a cell phone that you have to pay somebody else a ridiculous monthly fee. And they don't even, whoever you're paying that monthly fee to, it's like they don't do anything. It's a service that all they have to do is sit in front of a computer and type some shit, and it's just, if you really think about it, you're giving your money away to somebody who doesn't do anything and provides you with a service that you can get for free if you just bought a ham radio. Well, okay, I better stop there. So this video is already 15 minutes. So, okay, so those are my ideas for now, and if I get any feedback, that'd be nice. But let me know what you think. Leave a comment, and I'll hopefully have some more videos posted soon with some more demonstrations. Stay tuned.